R3D Resources is an existing listed company that's suspended, and it's conducting a reverse takeover of Tartana Resources. Tartana itself has a number of exploration licences, mining leases and applications in the Chillagoe region in North Queensland. It's really a focused copper gold explorer and potential producer. Copper is one of the key commodities going forward, and in fact last year at the LME Resources Conference in London, many analysts highlighted copper and in fact nickel as being the exciting metals going forward, and that's stimulated really by both the fact that copper is used in construction, so all the stimulus post-COVID is around stimulating building, that will involve copper, but more so around electric vehicles. So electric vehicles are really taking off. There's a real push for this green renewable energy, and just to quote a figure, China itself is targeting 300 million electric vehicles by 2030, which will be 50% of the vehicles in that country, or passenger vehicles in that country. So that involves an enormous amount of copper in terms of charging stations. The vehicles themselves, they use approximately 83 kilos each vehicle for the electric windings and the motors and so forth. So copper itself is a very attractive commodity. Gold itself is sort of a reflection of stimulus and debasing of currency, largely around the US. So the more stimulus, the more printing of money, gold tends to remain higher. So R3D Resources will be a unique company in the sense that it'll have access to cash flow. We're currently producing zinc furnace slag, and we're selling that to South Korea. We've shipped 2 shipments of 22,000 tonnes out of the Port of Burnie. That was late last year. We're currently extracting a 3rd shipment, and we're expecting the permitting coming through from the Tasmanian government over the next month or so to access the remaining stockpiles, which are around 335,000 tonnes. And selling this zinc low-grade furnace slag is a good revenue producer and provides a very handy income for the company. In the Chillagoe region, where most of our tenements are, we have a project, or we have a plant on site that can produce copper sulphate. It's been held in care and maintenance since 2014, but prior to that it produced 10 years of quite consistent, high quality copper sulphate, which was sold to the surrounding mines as an activator in flotation. That copper sulphate is now imported through Townsville from China, but there's a lot of impetus, I guess, for us to restart that process and start producing copper sulphate. The capex associated that on initial estimates are around $500,000, and it can produce revenue well in excess of $10 million per annum. R3D Resources is primarily an explorer and developer, and we've really focused on the Chillagoe region. We've got a number of projects, and particularly around Tartana itself, we've got exploration opportunities around porphyry copper below the existing mineralisation. We've got mining lease applications that have gold mineralisation on them, and we have other tenements which have both copper and silver opportunities. We'd say that they're reasonably advanced projects. There's certainly drilling and mineralisation's been identified. In a high risk, high reward type scenario, we've created a deal with Newcrest where we were approached by Newcrest to explore the Bulimba project tenements, which cover a vast 1,250 square kilometres north of Chillagoe, and we'll fly some airborne EM over those projects and follow up some of the anomalies that Newcrest has identified in the past. That provides a very exciting opportunity in terms of scale of exploration potential discovery. So the R3D Resources board is actually nicely balanced in terms of technical backgrounds, where 2 of us have technical geological backgrounds and the other 2 come from more commercial, corporate governance, compliance backgrounds. So I think combining those skill sets actually creates a nice balanced board going forward. So why would you invest in R3D Resources? Look, copper is a key commodity going forward, certainly around the whole renewable electric vehicle space. Gold, it's certainly going to remain high. So these are key commodities, and it's almost like, how do you get exposure to these commodities in the junior resource space? We offer it through quite an exciting array of exploration projects that we're quite confident that something will come out of these projects. But in those projects or those activities are supported by cash flow from both our Xeon project in Tasmania, where we're exporting the slag, and also the restart of the copper sulphate project on Tartana, which will be a priority this year.